those contractors parked over somebody's drive inadvertently, I can only apologise. Had I known about it at the time, I'd have made sure they moved. And there will, of course, be very stringent conditions applied to all of the arrangements for contractors' vehicles in the event that consent is granted and construction proceeds.
Thank you. Any other questions, committee? No? Okay. I'd like to take this opportunity to revisit Councillor Blake's comment about the reprovision of space. And I wondered, Councillor Blake, if you had a proposal about beefing up that condition to your satisfaction.
Oh, you've put me on the spot. I mean, I'd like to talk to residents about that. I have had a number of residents who have contacted me to express their dismay at the loss of, or concerns about the ongoing future for the community groups, of which there are a number in that area. And I don't think just paying for 4 times a year in the church hall is enough or long enough. So I would like discussions on that to be
ongoing,
to be a bit further, to go on longer.
Thank you. Mr. Szosowski.
Thank you, Chair. And just on that point, really important point, it's important we do make the distinction between the planning committee role and what planning can do and the planning policy requirements, and then what the wider council can do in the housing delivery team and wider services that sort of support community facilities. So obviously in planning terms, which is what this committee is considering, and the report in front of you on page 214 talks about the DM policy, DM 49, and there's some tests in there, some criteria that have gone through. So in planning terms, it's been demonstrated that the policy has been met, and that this has been looked at and considered in planning terms. Now, outside of planning, the council has a wider role in housing and community facilities. So sort of commitments on that might be made outside of planning, but from planning terms, it meets the requirements of the policy as set out on page 214 of the report.
Is that to your satisfaction, Councillor Blake?
Sort of, yes, Chair. I'll take up this issue outside of this meeting, and thank you for the clarification. Thank you.
Thanks. So the motion before us is to grant planning permission subject to.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, no amendments to the agenda item other than those set out in the addendum. So that is to grant permission subject to an agreement internally between the teams and the conditions set out in the report.
Thanks. So all those in favour of granting permission, please show their hands now. That's everyone. So that's granted. Thank you very much. Thanks, and thank you for coming to the planning meeting tonight, everybody. Thanks.